Good afternoon, good evening, softball fans. We're almost 2 hours behind, but we are on to the two main events of the evening. New York Gremlins, the home team out on the field. They're taking on the Hill United Chiefs. This is one of the games that we have been waiting for about 4 or 5 years. For the Chiefs, leading off, Shane Boland, followed by Nico Carrillo, Brad Ezekiel, Bruno Matroni. Cleanup spot, Steve Mullally, Jason Hill, Colin Walsh. This one is hard hit, center field, going back. Benny Anoka making the catch at the fence. Good job there by Benny Anoka, as always, sure-handed as anybody in center field, but a hard hit ball right away by Shane Boland. Finished the batting order, Colin Walsh, Tony Gonzalez, and then Jeff Lyons playing first base. Steve Mullally, the designated player today. Quentin Bruce out of the lineup for Hill United. Set the defense for you for the New York Gremlins, left to right across the outfield. Matthew Waugh, the aforementioned Benanoka, Zenon Winters right in front of us in right field for the Gremlins. And then on the infield around the horn, Jerome Remicky at third base. Shortstop is Jenner Christensen in the flex spot. Ladislaw Malazuk at second base. And at first it's Eric Ochoa. As you know, Andrew Kirkpatrick pitching to Nick Mullins. So one down with Boland on the fly ball. And chop foul by Nico Carrillo. The intensity ratcheted up significantly from the end of the last game. And both of these teams right into this right from the get-go. Lifted up on the infield. Calling for it is Remicky. He'll make the catch coming across the circle. So 2 down now in the top of the first inning. If you're just getting in with us on the ISC Network, Blair Setford here on the ISC Network. Luciano Lafranco on Premier Softball TV. Swing and a foul back by Brad Ezekiel. Ezekiel ever dangerous at the plate for the Hill United Chiefs. Kirkpatrick will take a step back. You see the bat held high. Hands practically over the head. And that pitch just up, says our home plate umpire. And this one inside. Jackknife out of the way for ball 4. Brad Ezekiel, a 2-out walk, and that'll bring up Bruno Matroni. Kirkpatrick pours in a strike. Matroni, the co-captain, the longtime captain of that Argentina national team. And this one is out to right on the run. Winters is not going to be able to get there in time. Ezekiel is going to go coast to coast and aboard with a 2-out single. Bruno Matroni, runners on the corners for the Chiefs. Steve Mullally will come to the plate. Mullally, the designated player tonight, as a little bit of shifts in the lineup for Coach Jeff Ellsworth. Mullally to the DP spot. Jeff Lyons in at first base. Quentin Bruce, who had been patrolling the outfield, he'll move to the bench. Just downstairs to Mullally. Long history with these two. Go all the way back to 2013 in that perfect game in the winners bracket finals. Mullally with a 3-run home run that propelled Hill United to the victory in that game. And Kirkpatrick just wanting to know where that pitch is, how far inside is it. So 2-0, good hitters count. And up and in from the big left-hander. Got the first two outs relatively easy, although Shane Boland hit a pretty good shot that took Ben Anoka all the way to the fence. And 3-0, taking all the way Mullally. Throw 3-1. And that might be the best pitch he'll get. And swing and a miss. So 3-2. Kirkpatrick gets it back to 2 strikes. Runners on the corners. Matroni at first. Bradley Ezekiel at third. 2 down here in the inning. The top of the first. And swing and a miss. Mullally chases ball 4 out of the zone, out of the inning. Will go to the home half. Gremlins coming to the plate. So we get to the bottom of the first inning after Andrew Kirkpatrick and the New York Gremlins work out of a peck of trouble in the top of the first. For the Gremlins will be Matthew Waugh, Jerome Remeke, followed by Ben Anoka, Eric Ochoa, Wayne Laulu, the designated player tonight, Zenon Winters, Ladislaw Malarzuk, Andrew Kirkpatrick in the 8th spot, Nick Mullins batting 9th. Jenner Christensen is at short in the flex spot. For the Hill United Chiefs on defense, Colin Walsh in left, Brad Ezekiel center, Nico Carrillo in right. And we hit the mascot on the first pitch from Devin McCullough. Around the horn on the infield, it's Jason Hill at third. Shane Boland is at short. At second base, Tony Gonzalez, Jeff Lyons draws into the lineup at first. Devin McCullough, as you know, and of course Bruno Matroni catching for the Chiefs. A little bit more friendlier uniforms for the Chiefs rather than the white on white, that familiar blue pinstripe. Devin McCullough lines, works, and skips one in, a 38-footer this time. So we've got the ground balls covered and the mascot. McCullough taking a bit of time to find the strike zone. So 2-0 to Matthew Waugh, the speedy left-hander from Lévis, Quebec. And there's a called strike. To Quebecois in this game. ISC Fave is on the Hill United lineup card, and Matthew Waugh from La Belle Provence. 2-1. And a bunt attempt, and that one is foul at the plate. Matty still has that in his arsenal, can still hit the ball out of the park and hit it tap. My friend Luciano. Muy amigo. Hopefully you had a chance to join us for the bonus coverage that we did of the J&B J&B game against Circle Tap Dukes, and this one skips in and over the screen, I think, off the foot of Bruno Matroni. We'll have to get a new round white spherical object. So hopefully you had a chance to join us for that bonus coverage and some great aerial footage as we incorporated a drone. We showed you some great shots of the Special Olympics game that was on the diamond in behind our broadcast position, and some live game coverage from a drone, a first here on the ISC network. We have such a great opportunity working here with Luciano Lafranco from Premier Liga Softball. Doing a great job here with the Spanish broadcast and doing all of the production work, camera work. My colleague here, my new friend, Luciano. Ball 4, leadoff walk to Matthew Waugh. And got to say that not a lot of those pitches real close to the strike zone right now for Devin McCullough. We talked about this last night, or the other night on the broadcast, Monday night I guess it was, with Devin. Took him a few batters to get adjusted and to get into the game. And hard hit ball by Ramaki. The toss to 2 for 1. Back to first. Call it 2. .463. Good looking double play there by the Hill United Chiefs. A tailor-made play for this real good infield. Tony Gonzalez, Shane Boland, and Jeff Lyons in on that double play. And 2 down now for Ben Anoka and the Gremlins. Early in the week, the Gremlins have been able to run away and hide from opponents. I think about the game with the Oma Tigre just the other day, where they actually were down 1 after the top of the inning, and the Gremlins just piled on 5 and then put it on cruise control against the Tigre. Oma ended up being eliminated today, 4-1 in 9 innings by the AWP Lumberjacks. Inside and low, not pitch from Devin McCullough. And this one is smashed out here to right field. Anoka will trot up to first with a hard hit single. And that's a couple of hard hit balls in a row off of McCullough. But that one, a tailor-made double play. So 2 down, Benny Anoka aboard with a single. And that'll bring up Ochoa, who hasn't had a lot of luck here at the plate for the Gremlins this week. He's hit some balls hard, just hasn't been able to find a hole yet. Ochoa, who plays for the U.S. national team, but has had some experience also with the Mexican team in the past. So long break here in between pitches. McCullough now back onto the board. Ochoa into the box. And this pitch misses down and away. You can see just to the left center side of your screen there, people sitting under the stands. That's how much of a premium it is for seats in and around home plate here at Eldridge. There you are. Just to the left of Devin McCullough's 15. Matroni was set up way off the plate and had to reach way back inside. That pitch actually a strike, but not quite where Bruno Matroni was looking for it. Great shot of the night sky developing here and missing outside. You saw that pitch where it crossed the home plate vicinity. And well hit, but foul down the left side. Beninoka out at first still. He had the 2-out single. Matthew Waugh had a leadoff walk. Jerome Remeke, a 4-6-3 double play and a good-looking one from the Hill United defense. Beninoka is aboard on that single. And Eric Ochoa here at the plate. And this one, 2-hop to Matroni. So 3-1, deep breath there from Devin McCullough, looking to gather himself up a little bit. Matroni flashes a couple of signs. Ground ball, easy pickup for McCullough, and he'll flip to first. The Gremlins will strand one. We will head to the top of the second inning. This one just getting underway. Stay with us here on the ISC Network. Surprised me there with that shot here in the booth. Didn't know that we were Gonna do that one. I would have fixed my hair. So back onto the game action, and Andrew Kirkpatrick pumps in a strike to Jason Hill as we get going here, the top of the second inning. Chiefs and Gremlins on the ISC network. 0-2 very quickly on the left-handed hitting Hill. And this one, well hit and gone! Jason Hill puts a thrill into that one. And that solo home run that he was robbed of the other night, he gets it back here this evening. And the Hill United Chiefs out in front, 1-0. The other night against the AWP Lumberjacks, Jason Hill had hit what appeared to be a solo home run, but it was called back, and this one is laced out to center field. Anoka will scoop that up and get it back as back-to-back hard-hit balls here by a pair of Newfoundlanders. Jason Hill, the home run, followed up by a single right back up the middle by Colin Walsh, and that will bring us to the Mexican national, Tony Gonzalez. Gonzalez thinking about bunting, and that one is up and over the screen. Something new for the Chiefs is playing a little bit of small ball early in games. Didn't often see that under Larry Lynch and John Hill, but Jeff Ellsworth, the skipper this year, and bring a little bit different look. And this one is laced out to left. Here's the throw. And sliding into third, and getting in there is Walsh. So we're going to have a meeting on the mound here, and this is the first bit of trouble that Andrew Kirkpatrick has faced all week. Walsh going coast to coast on that shot. So runners on the corners again here for Hill United. Had them in the first, now here again in the second. The Jason Hill home run has the Chiefs out in front, 1-0. And Jeff Lyons to the plate. And a good scoop there by Eric Ochoa, right off the shoe tops, staggers back onto the bag and gets a double play. So tit for tat, and some snazzy defense there by Eric Ochoa to pick up that line drive on the backhand and double off Tony Gonzalez, who was stuck in no man's land. That ball just hammered by Lyons, but a great play by Ochoa. You just got to tip your hat on that. So we're back to the top of the shop, and Shane Boland, who has been collecting RBIs in this tournament like nobody's business. And don't forget, he gave a ball a ride to deep center field, leading off the first. Hard hit ball. That's through the hole. Walsh will score. And Shane Boland picks up another RBI. 2-0 for Hill United. And this one is hit out to right. Winters will come in, pick that up. Good strong throw into second. Will hold Boland just to second base. But Carrillo follows up that hard hit by Boland with a hard hit of his own. And warming up with a little bit more urgency down the line all of a sudden is Josh Pettit. Hill United brought their hitting shoes tonight. Bradley Ezekiel, very dangerous at the plate right now for the Chiefs. And an opportunity here for Brad Ezekiel, right guy, right time, to break this one wide open early. Boland out at second, Carrillo at first. And misses inside to Bradley Ezekiel. And the only reason there's 2 outs is a great defensive play by Eric Ochoa to snag a hot shot off the bat of Jeff Lyons, and then to double off Tony Gonzalez, who was stuck in no man's land on that play. This one's lifted up. Winters will have to go for a jog, but he'll set her under it for the third out of the inning. Hill United push across 2. They strand 2, and their Gremlins are fortunate that they're not down more, as we'll go to the bottom of the second. Some work to do for the Gremlins. Hill United looking good early. Back here on the ISC network, Wayne Laulu, Zenon Winters, Ladislaw Malarzuk for the New York Gremlins, trailing for second time in the tournament, first time by more than 1 run. And some work to do for this New York squad, who have pretty much had things their own way for the bulk of the event, for the bulk of the season, for that matter. These two teams met a couple of weeks ago in the final of the U.S. National Tournament. That was a bit of a slugfest as the Gremlins won 7-5, but there were a couple of plays where that game could have gone either way. Laulu, the big slugger from New Zealand, from Wellington in New Zealand. A pitch out and away. Had a request in between innings to give a shout out to Bobby Smith of the Texas Stars from Radar, who's here for the Legends group. And swing and a miss there. Big cut from Wayne Laulu going after that pitch from McCullough. Got maybe a bit too much of the zone. That looks like it got a bite of Bruno Matroni. Ellsworth is going to come out and chat about that. Bruno, the veteran, looks like he's all right. So we'll get the defense set. Everybody back to position here. And Wayne Laulu puts a charge into one. Goodbye. Good night. Solo shot for Wayne Laulu. An absolute no-doubter off the bat of Wayne Laulu. Just like Jason Hills was out of here in a hurry, Wayne Laulu returns the favor. And you knew that this game was not over at 2-0. So, fair ball, says our home plate umpire, and Ladislaw Mallard-Zook, Zenon Winters is down just that quickly. And that'll bring up Ladislaw Mallard-Zook. Upstairs from Devin McCullough. Mallard-Zook, the MVP of the U.S. National Tournament a couple of weekends ago, only, and I say only, hit .769. Led the tournament in hitting, led the tournament in home runs, I believe, too, if I'm not mistaken. And just had himself a great week. Cooled off a little bit here, but strike there from McCullough. 1-2. And just misses upstairs with that one. Yeah, upstairs is our home plate umpire. You saw the thumb up. And this one is topper right into the glove of the shortstop, Shane Boland. So, second out of the inning after that moonshot off the bat of Wayne Laulu. And we'll get to Andrew Kirkpatrick, who tried to get himself back to square. Not sure where that pitch missed. And there's the changeup from Devin McCullough. I haven't seen enough of that pitch right now. Now, Kirkpatrick wondering about that pitch and the called strike. So 1-1. And that one misses outside. So 2-1. And you just get the sense that this one is not going to be a pitcher's duel here tonight. Kirkpatrick hasn't really been fooling anybody on his side. McCullough really struggling to find the strike zone with any kind of consistency right now in the early innings. And neither of these are lineups where you want to be throwing the ball down the middle because you will get hurt. There's a strike. Motroni was off the plate and again had to reach back inside. Swing and a miss. Good changeup from Devin McCullough. Gives up the home run to Wayne Laulu, but sets down the next three. Hill United, 2-1 lead here on the ISC Network. Bruno Motroni steps in, and after a little bit of confusion of whether or not we were ready to go, we got it going here. Bruno singled in his last trip. And there's a short one out to right. Winters won't be able to track that one down. Big, strong throw back into first. But, boy, he's put on a lot of miles tonight already from his spot out here in kind of deep right field. The infield extends out a fair ways here in Eldridge, and some of these shots are just making it to the grass. And it is a long run for the outfield to go get it. So Motroni 2 for 2 already. And we're down to Mullally, who is down on strikes his first pitch and lays off this drop in the dirt. Mullally's got a duck under this one, and Kirkpatrick looked like he lost his footing or something when he come off the board, and wasn't the pitch he wanted to throw. It'll be 2-0 on Mullally when we get to get reset. Quick shout out to good friend Tyler Dudley, watching back in Michigan. Wish you were still here, buddy. Your Dukes could have used you today. Chopper on the infield. Strong throw from Christensen. And he sits down Mullally. And we'll get back to Jason Hill, who has found a new lease on life here this year with the Chiefs here at the World Tournament, has been bashing the ball, turning back the clock several years. There's a little flare, but that's going to be right under the glove of Christensen for the second out of the inning. And we'll get to Colin Walsh. Walsh, one of the core members of Team Canada, tore up the St. John's Newfoundland League last year. And after making the team for 2017 and then being left off the roster in 2019, back on the Canadian men's national team for 2021-2022. Swing and a miss there. That's a good-looking pitch from Andrew Kirkpatrick. Not sure if that's what Mick Mullins was exactly expecting, though. He's out to have a chat. And while it's not over yet, Kirkpatrick looks to have made some adjustments. He and Mullins, a different rhythm here this inning. And swing and a miss there. And he's getting the swing and misses that he certainly wasn't getting in the first or the second. Nick Mullins working a 3-2 count. And inside, ball 4, McCullough. Not getting that call, but when you haven't been around the zone all night, you're not going to get that call. So back to the top of the shop for Matthew Waugh. Hopefully you've had an opportunity to see some of the video ads that were posted online on the ISC Facebook page. Earlier today, we want to thank our supporters here this week. We wouldn't be here without them, as this one is lifted up and coming across to make the grab on the edge of the infield. There is Shane Boland. He'll haul that one in. So that'll bring up Jerome Remeke. Remeke hit a hot shot right at Tony Gonzalez that resulted in a double play in the first. Mr. Ned, Peligro Sports, Les Novak of the ISC are primary sponsors here. This one is punched out to short left. That's going to fall in. Just foul. Just foul. Remeke will go back and do it again. We also want to support and salute our longtime sponsors like Skelton Truck Lines and Corbett Source for Sports and Circle Tap and Murphy's Fish and Chips. All of these fine people, we would not be able to bring you this streaming without them. We certainly salute them and thank them for allowing us to be here with you this week. This deal came together very quickly and on short order. We're glad to be here with you. McCullough misses downstairs and hope that you're enjoying the broadcasts at home. My good friend, my new friend, Luciano Lafranco, Liga Premier, bringing you the Spanish side of our broadcasts here this week, doing all the production work, doing the Spanish commentary, and doing just an absolutely great job. Hopefully in the bonus coverage you saw some of that drone footage earlier tonight. McCullough, long look in, finds a sign from Matroni. And this one is punch foul down the left side. It's been a different year this year here at the ISC World Tournament. Missing a lot of the Canadian teams and players that are mainstays in this tournament, and also some of the international stars who aren't here. It's very difficult, if not impossible, to travel out of Australia right now. That's why Adam Falkert is not here. Some of the other travel restrictions in place have prevented Nick Shales from being here. So it's a different looking Hill United squad this year. Skipped in, up to second goes Mullins quite easily. And a free base for the Gremlins catcher. McCullough really struggling for control right now. Challenge for the Gremlin batters is to have the patience for when McCullough does come in. And can they lay off the changeup? And there it is, swing and a miss. Down goes Remeke. He can't hold back on the change. And that's the great equalizer for Devin McCullough. He's almost always able to throw that pitch for a strike. And even if he can't spot the rise, he still has that in his back pocket. Anoka to the plate, singled in the first, a two-out single, didn't advance any further. And in with a strike. It's long list of signs there from Matroni. And fouled off by Anoka. So quickly he's in a hole 0-2. And the chatter picks up from the Gremlins bench. It's answered by the Chiefs bench. And the intensity in this game, so much more than the two previous games here on this diamond. Not that there wasn't drama in those games, but it's just been ratcheted up here a couple of notches in this winner's bracket semifinal. Upstairs from McCullough. And in this bat, to Anoka at least, he's been a lot closer to the plate and perhaps finding a rhythm, finding a zone. Outstairs, or outside rather, called a strike by the home plate umpire. So down goes Benny Anoka, down go the Gremlins. We'll go to the top of the fourth, making good time here on the ISC network. Stay with us. Tony Gonzalez, Jeff Lyons, and back to the top of the shop for Shane Boland. First pitch swinging, and Tony Gonzalez bangs a single out to center field. And Gonzalez, 2 for 2 here tonight with a couple of hard-hit singles. And Jeff Lyons will come to the plate. Lyons, who spent the last couple of years with the Toronto Batmen, and a pickup for the Chiefs this week, asked to bunt here in the 9 spot. Doesn't do a lot of that, hitting in the 3 and 4 spots with the Batman. And that one misses up and out. Gets this one down, and they're going to go to 2, and got him. Real good play there on defense. Remeke come across and made a good, strong throw to the shortstop, and that is a big league play right there to get the lead runner. So Shane Boland will step in. Already his third appearance. This is lifted up, way up, out to left, and that's just going to get foul out of play. Matthew Waugh chased that a long, long way over to the fence. So Boland will step back in and foul this one off at the plate. So 0-2 to the leadoff batter. So we'll get back to set here. Kirkpatrick, the lean. And this one launched out to left. Say goodnight. Shane Boland with a 2-run bomb. And another couple of RBIs for the young man from Gould's. And the Hill United Chiefs extend the lead. Got absolutely all of that one. And as good an inning as Andrew Kirkpatrick had in recovering after the second. Couple of hard hit balls here again from Gonzalez. And then that one absolutely smoked by Shane Boland. And you still got to contend with Nico Carrillo and the rest of this lineup here for the Hill United Chiefs. So we're going to bring in a special guest as we're watching the Hill United Chiefs here in the New York Gremlins, and it's newly minted Hall of Fame manager Scott Standifer. How does that sound to you?
That sounds great.
The ceremony on Sunday I thought was great. You touched on your whole career, and let's go all the way back to the beginning with the River City Rage. And what was it like coming to the ISC tournament for your first time?
I'd been to a lot of ISC tournaments as I was growing up, and then as a player, but the first time I coached in one was a little bit different experience, and it was exciting and to be with the Rage, and we had Scott Planger then, who I thought gave us good opportunities to advance as we went through, and kind of continue to get better as the team stayed together.
You got the opportunity with County Materials to coach one of the best teams in that particular decade. What was it like with that team loaded with superstars?
Just a great bunch of guys. As I said, Sunday is just a lot of guys who played the game the right way and knew how to prepare for games, especially big games, and knew what was expected of them and knew how to execute what needed to be done to win games at that level.
Carrillo goes down on the ground out, and Bradley Ezekiel steps in. When you watch teams today, the Hill Uniteds, the New York Gremlins, how do you or can you compare eras with that county team?
I think it's always hard to compare teams who never have a chance to play against each other. You know, I think they're great, obviously two great teams here for the last, however many years have been two of the best programs that we have. And it's just, I like to think the county team was as good of a team as there's ever been, but there are great players out on the field today. There are no holes in any of these lineups, and the thing is, I'm looking, and two of the first people I see are Zenon Winters and Andrew Kirkpatrick, two guys who were on that
county team. That's right.
County team.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Let's talk about the Circle Top Dukes. You come into that program and you get them to their first ISC championship game in 2018. How special was that, knowing that you were going to be the host team the next year, too?
It was very special. More special for me, for Darren Derricks, the sponsor of Circle Tap, who for years and years has done so much for the game of softball and really puts his whole heart and soul into it, and wants to make sure we have a good competitive team, and obviously when you're part of something like that, you want to advance as far as you can, and for Darren, I think it was special, and which made it special for me.
Mm-hmm.
I think the world of Darren and what he does, and how he respects the game, and how he really, the game is always at the front of his mind. One of the things I really enjoy about Circle Tap is that every decision that we try to make is always puts the game first.
Yeah.
It's not about a group of players. It's not about any one individual. It's always about what's best for the game.
you've got a group of younger players now that you're developing and you're bringing along. And I watch kids like Tanner Momentum and the shortstop Brett Reinhardt, and you've got some talent there that you're nurturing.
Yeah, and that's the goal. The goal is to, Circle Tap primarily for years was made up of a lot of the best players they could find in Wisconsin. You look at Krista Larwell, Don Garvey, people like that, who are good players who developed into really good softball players. And that's kind of the goal is, let's give some kids in Wisconsin a chance to play this game and just kind of give them the bit and see if they run with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they're very good athletes, obviously, and it's just a matter of them getting opportunities and seeing good pitching, and we'll see how they do.
Eric Ochoa I think that's Ochoa, with the leadoff single for the Gremlins here, as that one falls in between the hard-charging Bradley Ezekiel and the infielder that was coming back on that. So that'll bring up Wayne Laulu, and Wayne Laulu launched one into the stratosphere his last time at bat. You coach Wayne Laulu. You've probably seen him do that more than once.
Once or twice, yeah. For sure. Wayne's a threat every time he comes up.
It was interesting today, I thought, in the Circle Tap game. When I think of Scott Standifer, I think of a guy who's very analytical and thinking ahead, but you got a little heated today. And I don't want to dwell on this particularly, but the emotion came through in this one for sure today.
It did, and the emotion for me came not as much on the call was the umpire's refusal to ask for help.
Right. And you're protecting your team in that situation.
Exactly. And that was a spot in the game where we'd just taken the lead at 4-2 and had a runner on second and one out, and that call took the runner off second, and so now we have nobody on and one out and two outs, and just changed the entire complexity of the game.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that was my main beef was the refusal to ask for help
right.
on anything, because I specifically watched that particular incident where he said the pitcher was in the circle, and as soon as I saw Manny Godoy come off second, I looked and he wasn't in the circle, and that's why I was asking for him to ask the corner umpires to see if they saw it the same way he did, and
just wouldn't do it.
Right.
Yeah. What's next for Scott Standifer? You've been with the Dukes now for a couple of years. You seem like you found a home there.
Absolutely. I would tell you, as long as Darren will have me around, I'll be at Circle Tap. I can't imagine being anywhere else. It's just such a good situation, and it's the Denmark community and the Circle Tap business itself has just been very welcoming, and we're really looking forward to hosting the World Tournament in a couple of years. And I think it was great last time in 2019. Everybody seemed to really enjoy it. Got some bigger things planned this time, and obviously the first time you take on something as big as this, you try some things, maybe, and some things work, some things don't, so you get rid of the things that don't, try some more things, and just try to keep trying to make it better for the fans and for the people who come to the players and just everybody who comes to the World Tournament. I know they're going to do some renovations at the fields and at the press box, but a lot of things planned, and I think it's going to be a great place to be in August 23.
Yeah, we're certainly looking forward to it, and some booyah as well.
Some booyah, yeah, we'll certainly have some booyah going, and some more corn, and everything everybody liked the last time.
You've done a lot of things in the game, not just in the ISC, but internationally as well. Is there a single favorite moment that you can put your finger on that you would say that's my signature moment?
I would say it's got to be the championship games. That I've been lucky enough to be with teams that got to 3 championship games, and just getting there is so special when you look at the level of talent that's out here, and to be able to get to that game is so special. To be able to win it twice is with the great players that won it for us, and getting to be around those guys. It's I always tell people I learned a lot. It's helped me in coaching just by being around the great players and seeing what they do.
Yeah.
And they bring a lot to the game, and just kind of learning how to try to put those guys in the best spots they can be in to be successful.
Set them up for success. Right. Absolutely. Great. Scott, thanks for joining us tonight. I know it's a long way out here to the broadcast booth to come all the way around the field from left all the way to right, and then I got to go back again. But listen,
I was just on my evening jog anyway. So
I really appreciate you coming out. Always a great time to talk with you. For those that don't know, Scott also helps us produce the electronic version of the guide. So we'll look forward to doing that again in the off season, collaborating on that, and then we'll get back at it in 2022, and then circle tap in 2023.
Sounds great. Thanks for your time.
Great. Thanks once again. Really appreciate it, and congratulations. So thanks to Hall of Fame manager Scott Stanifer for making the long journey out here to the broadcast booth. And that interview was a couple of days in coming, and really appreciate him taking the time to chat with us. Eric Ochoa on second base, and Malazuk at the plate. Winters over at first, and this one fouled off. Thought it was really interesting that Scott Stanifer talked about, as much as he's the manager of the team, also learning from the players. And certainly when you look at the great stature of players that were on those county material teams back in the day in 05 and 06 in particular, those powerhouses. As professional a team as there's ever been in the history of the ISC. Scott, a big part of their success. Up an extra 60 feet. Go Winters and Ochoa. And you just know this one is not going to end at 4-1 either. I want to say hi to Janet Boland, who just sent a nice note. Thanks. Glad you're joining us. Got a son in this game and a son in the next one. It's going to be pretty late or even early before these are all over with. Mentioned in an inning ago, and I think McCullough looks like he's getting closer to getting into his zone. Taking a long while to get there for Devin McCullough. He seems to be zeroing in on it a little bit more. Almost a bunt attempt there, I guess, from Allard Duke. An easy play for Devin McCullough. Down. Andrew. Not doesn't matter. But I think we got a hitter here, and I can't tell. Brian Avery. Looks like Brian Avery. It is. Brian Avery. These two spend a lot of time together. Avery catching for McCullough on Team Canada. So no better guy to put into this spot here than somebody who is very familiar. Fouled up and out of play. And up and in, but that pitch had some zip on it from McCullough. Still a good count here for Avery, the hitter, and misses downstairs. And now an even better count for Avery, the hitter. So McCullough out to talk to Shane Boland. Throw Jason Hill into that conversation. Noted world-class pitcher Jason Hill. But it's right now. It's Devo and Avery. Called a strike on the inside corner. Drilled by Avery. Over to the gap, cut off by Ezekiel. 1 run is in, 2 runs in. And Brian Avery comes off the bench and does the job. Bench strength indeed when you can bring in a player the caliber of Brian Avery, who's going to hit in the middle of every other lineup in this tournament. Mullins fouls this one back to the plate. So now the question remains, does Brian Avery stay in the game? Do you make the double switch and bring in Josh Pettit into your flex spot and move Avery behind the dish and Nick Mullins to short? Skips this one in to Matroni. Good job to keep it in front of him. This one well hit by Mullins. Deep center field. Ezekiel leaps over the fence. It's gone. Nick Mullins, a 2-run shot, and the Gremlins take the lead. Wow, how about that? You bring in a pinch hitter, you get a couple of RBIs, your 9 guy, a big 2-run home run. We often talk about hiding Nick Mullins down there in the 9 spot, and he just shows you right there how valuable he is to this team. And if you took the over tonight, you're a happy man. That's a cool bet. So that is going to be it, too, for Devin McCullough. It'll be Pablo Migliavaca. McCullough gets through 3 2/3, but is done in by a pinch hitter and the 9 batter. take a bit of a break while we let Pablo Migliavaca get his warm-ups in. We'll be back on the ISC Network. Stay with us. Pablo Migliavaca will face Matthew Waugh, Jerome Remeke, if it gets that far. As we're back to the top of the shot, but the Gremlins now in the lead. And Matty thinks about a bunt. Good first pitch there from Pablo Migliavaca, establishing his strike zone. Migliavaca pitched the first game for the Chiefs and threw well in what was a laugher of a game as they romped to a big, something like 17-0 win. And you had to wonder, was McCullough here as an insurance policy for Migliavaca, or was he here to be the starter? Well, clearly he became the starter, but now it's going to rest on Migliavaca's shoulders to try and shut down the Gremlins and let the offense get back into the game. The momentum has jumped horses, as it often does, mid-race here. And not sure if you can hear it on your end, but the Gremlins bench all up on the fence. Hard hit ball by Matthew Waugh, just foul down the right side. Boy, that ball was a laser beam. And while we had been making some pretty good time here, and Luciano and I had talked about the pace of the game improving, it slowed down significantly here in this inning after this uprising by the Gremlins as they've poured across for this inning. 2 RBI pinch hit single by Brian Avery and a 2-run home run by Nick Mullins. And this one chopped foul again, and you can hear, at least I can certainly, Wayne Laulu on the bench all the way out here in right field. Migliavaca really needs to shut the door right here, needs to let his team get back to the sticks. They have been all over Andrew Kirkpatrick tonight. He's really only had one good inning. That was in the second. And this game right now, only in the fourth. Plenty of time left for both sides. There'll be another one to come after this one. The Kitchener-Hallman Twins and the Fargo-Kegel Black Knights will play the nightcap. We're only an hour and 15 behind schedule at this particular moment, and a long way to go. A long way to go for Matthew Waugh, back to the bench. Called strike 3. Pablo Migliavaca does his job, comes in and shuts the door. Now he's got to turn it over to the bats, and we'll see what the Gremlins are going to do, if it's a pitching change in the double switch or if it's Kirkpatrick coming back out. I got a sense it's going to be Josh Pettit. In fact, there he is right on your screen, right there. So Josh Pettit gets some last words here from Jerome Remeke. Talked to Greg Leather about how Josh Pettit's fared over the course of the summer. Pettit, one, looked like he had put on some muscle over the New Zealand summer and into the North American season. He looks considerably bulkier than I remember seeing him a couple of years ago with Ostrander and then Bear Bottom Lodge. But Pettit was very, very good for the Gremlins in the early part of the season when Kirkpatrick was over in Tokyo with the Australian women's softball team at the Olympics, and basically split the duties 50-50 coming into the ISC World Tournament, where it was always going to be Kirkpatrick's ball. But Pettit did pitch earlier. This ball drilled way out of here. Way out and gone. Matroni gets all of that pitch and more. Wow. What a monster shot by Bruno Matroni.
Señores, lleva 2 hits. Empata la partida, Bruno Matroni.
So we got ourselves a tie game just like that, and Steve Mullally will step in and come to the plate and try to get something going on his night. Sails this one over the head of everybody. Pettit misses downstairs, and Mullally, who hasn't looked good in either of his at-bats, gets a free pass. And that'll get us to Jason Hill, and it'll get us a mound visit. So indeed it was the switch that we talked about. Mullins is out at short. Avery went behind the dish. Pettit just doesn't quite look on here, as just looks a little bit shaky right now coming into this game. Hill had fouled that one off over the screen, but just I've seen Josh Pettit look better on the board than what he looks right now. That misses downstairs. And as quick as Kirkpatrick was working, as quick as McCullough was working despite his struggles, the pace slows here with Pettit coming in. Chopper on the ground, good play by Pettit, out to second for one, and safe at first. But a good play there by Pettit. And Mullins having to go up in the air to avoid Mullally come in pretty hard at second. So Hill aboard on the fielder's choice. That brings up Colin Walsh. Punches this one foul down the right side. Just caught a glimpse in the background there of the fire hose that the fire department from the town of Eldridge here in Iowa is using to water down Diamond 1 behind us. Behind your shot there, as it's the end of the day for the other two diamonds. In ISC 2 action, as we get a quick break here, Bear Bottom Lodge beats AHI Reapers in the ISC 2 winter bracket final. So they will move directly to the 4 p.m. game tomorrow, the ISC 2 championship game. Reapers will play in the 2 p.m. losers bracket final. And they'll take on Ostrander, or the winner of Ostrander and Nate's Auto, who were the Fishers team from Pennsylvania. So some East Coast teams along with the Ostrander Norsemen in the Final Four in ISC 2. Throw Wisconsin into that mix as well. Called a strike down at the bottom of the zone. Downstairs, just out of the zone. Walsh runs the count to full.
Una película de terror este lanzador. La hora de la película.
Pettit, very deliberate.
Para el lanzador. La plancha, cuidado.
And up and over the head of Colin Walsh. So ball 4 very quickly. And we will get another visit on the mound with all the infield for the Gremlins, as we want to slow this pace down here. This game was going way too fast.
Un caballete. Vamos a sacar este lado. Esos martes que están ahí. Yo cuando soy manager de un equipo, yo cuando llego al local, yo le hablo de cualquier cosa menos de eso.
Tony Gonzalez will come in, and Tony Gonzalez has hit the ball hard twice for the Chiefs.
Si los mete más en el juego, más se estresan. Pero que estos lanzadores están preparados para la presión. Llevan la presión.
As quickly as the Gremlins took the lead, they could surrender it just as quickly. And Pettit right now can't find the strike zone. That was about a 44-footer. No chance for Avery to do anything with that. And the Hill United bench now answers the Gremlin bench. And again, this one just down below the knees. Can't get a strike there. And there's a called strike on the outside corner. So Pettit finds the range. Long look in from Josh. And chopper on the infield. Mullins climbs the ladder. Good strong throw to first. And holds the runners at second and third. Good defense there from Nick Mullins. Had to go way up the ladder to make that play. The dive batter, Jeff Lyons. Smashed that ball at Ochoa back in the second inning. A 5-5 tie through here in the top of the fifth. And you know, we're a long way from over in this one too. These two teams trading punch for punch, blow for blow. Swing and a miss. Down goes Jeff Lyons. Pettit works out of trouble. They get the massive home run from Bruno Matroni to draw them even. But they can't push those two that are stranded at second and third. We'll go to the bottom of the fifth. Boy, this is a good one. Stay with us. Don't you dare miss it. Jerome Remeke, Ben Anoka, Eric Ochoa, 2-3-4 in the Gremlins order to face Pablo Migliavaca. Here in the bottom of the 5th inning, first pitch swing, Jerome Remeke fouls this one off.
Aquí regresamos, señores. Estamos ya cerrando el quinto inning. Fue interesante esta vuelta, señores. 5-5 la partida.
Migliavaca, no stranger to these big games. He's pitched in ISC championship games, winners bracket finals. And then you see what the park looks like right here, right now. A live look at Hill United Chiefs and New York Gremlins from above the main diamond here at Eldridge, Iowa, Sheridan Meadows Park. That might become a target for Jerome Remeke. He fouls this one off. You see some of the trees that provide some of the great shade. And you see everybody around the perimeter of the diamond here, the main diamond at the Sheridan Meadows complex. Downstairs to Remeke. Out to short and on to first for first out of the inning. That also gives you an indication of how deep the dirt portion of the infield is here at Sheridan Meadows. Much deeper than what we usually see at a number of parks around North America. Ben Anoka at the plate and swing and a miss. That is a real good inside drop ball there from Pablo Migliavaca. And we've got touchdown here at Eldridge as the drone safely back to home base. Our good friend Luciano Lafranco with his bag of tricks, including drone photography, a first here on the ISC network. Just off the corner from Pablo Migliavaca. That pitch there to the right-handed batters reminds me of what Juan Podolicio used to throw, that big sweeping right-handed hook that would go across the plate to the righties and to the other batter's box. But that one misses down and into Anoka and ball 4. Already activity. The hard-throwing Patrick Burns up in the bullpen for the Hill United Chiefs. Eric Ochoa, line out and a single. Showed bunt there. Don't often see that from the Gremlins. Highly unlikely that anybody is going to be running on Bruno Matroni, so Don't expect that in the least. And pours in a strike on the inside corner. Again, a good inside drop ball from Pablo Migliavaca. And right back up the middle, Bradley Ezekiel quickly on top of that, and Benanoka will stop at second base. But Choa continues to hit the ball hard. He's done that all week. He just hasn't been able to find too many holes with it, but 2 for 3 tonight. And now Wayne Laulu will come to the plate. I can recall a very memorable at-bat by Wayne Laulu in the winner's bracket final in the 9th inning against Pablo Migliavaca about 5 years ago in 2016. I'm sure that's on the back of everybody's minds right now. Ground ball, scoop, 1, tag, over to first, 2, double play. And that is some nifty defense there from Shane Boland, showing why he'll be the Team Canada starting shortstop in 2022. So you make a good play on defense, you come up to the plate. It's Shane Boland here for the Chiefs, his 4th plate appearance here in the 6th, facing Josh Pettit. A single, the home run, more RBIs for Shane Boland. He's got to be a contender for the MVP award at the end of the week, especially if Hill United goes on to earn their way to the final. This one just a little flare out into left, but that's going to get tracked down by Matthew Waugh. So Nico Carrillo, pair of singles. And no, it's not that cold here in Iowa that you need to be wrapped up in a blanket, but it certainly has cooled down nicely from the 31 degrees Celsius weather we had this afternoon. It's down to a nice pleasant 24 degrees Celsius. You'll have to make the conversion yourself to Fahrenheit. But it's a pleasant evening here in Iowa now at this point, at 9:40 Central Time. Hard hit ball past diving Nick Mullins and out to the left. So Carrillo, his 3rd hit of the evening, 3 for 4 on the night. And Brad Ezekiel will step up. And here's another guy whose at bats you just don't want to miss. Chopper right to Mullins. Bounces the throw. So Carrillo back to the bag in time. Got blocked out in the swing. I actually thought that was a one hopper. That was a line shot to Mullins. So Bruno Matroni. 3 for 3. But the big one was the home run, his last trip that at the time tied this for the Chiefs. That's where we sit. On the move, and they got him. He got a late start, Carrillo, and able to pick up the ball and make the throws. And right in front of him was Avery. And they got Carrillo, who just got a slow start off the bag after he thought the ball got further away from Avery than it did. So Matroni will come back to the plate, but in the meantime, we'll go to the bottom of the 6th as the Gremlins will try to break this tie. Well, we got through the top of the 5th, or the 6th rather, without giving up a run. Can we get through the bottom of the 6th and go all the way to the 7th in a tie game? Pablo Migliavaca is going to do his best to try and get us there. Zenon Winters, Ladislav Malerzuk, and Brian Avery, scheduled batters for the Gremlins here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Boy, it's just been a back and forth seesaw affair. Couple of heavyweight prize fighters landing the slobber knocker blows. Who's going to be left standing at the end of this one? 10 runs across right now. The last time they played a couple of weeks ago, it was 12 pushed across. Sorry if you took the under. Winters 1 for 2. A ground out and a single. But he was aboard on that Brian Avery, or on the Brian Avery hit. That got the Gremlins closer at the time. And then the Nick Mullins home run put them in front momentarily. Bruno Matroni answered that with a solo shot. Shane Boland has another basket full of RBIs today. Little cat and mouse, especially with Winters up there. He'll step in and step out. And slashes this one to left and over to make the grab. And a good one over in left field is Colin Walsh. That ball would have been tailing away from Walsh, so he would have had to go a ways to get that and make sure he took the extra step to not have it glance off the end of his glove. Mallerzuk flashing some frosted tips there. Downstairs. An Argentine trio at the moment here. Migliavacca, Mallerzuk, and the veteran, Bruno Matroni. And that pitch misses downstairs. Matroni tried to frame it up, but couldn't get buy-in from the umpire. Nobody has left the park. Everybody wants to see how this one is going to turn out. This was one of the most anticipated games of the week, up there with the JB Twins game the other night. Everybody was waiting for this one. So somebody asked about Carrillo and did he get thrown out? I can just tell you this, that Patrick Burns is now playing right field for the Chiefs. Whether or not he got run, unclear, but Burns is now in right. And Migliavacca skips that one, and we've seen that a few times tonight. The ebb and flow of this game as it slows down again as Migliavacca takes his time here. Mallerzuk, foul ball again. To be honest, I don't know how the Argentines spread out in their league during our winter up here and their summer in South America. These guys could be on the same team. They could all be on different teams and face each other on a weekly basis. But there's certainly a lot of familiarity between Mallerzuk, Migliavacca, and a great play there by Migliavacca. That hard hit ball back up the middle looked like it might get through, but Migliavacca, who's a tall guy, about 6'1", 6'2", and makes the grab.
Se le viene bateado Bray, que ha sido responsable de 2 carreras.
Brian Avery
Entró por Kilpatrick.
to the dish. And there's no drop here going from Kirkpatrick to Avery in the stick.
Bateo bateador Aubrey.
Avery, a top-notch batter in his own right.
Señores, ahí está. Magna.
So Migliavacca to the board. Avery into the box.
Es una oportunidad tiene el equipo.
And pours in a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike on Avery in the 8th spot in the order, assuming that spot from Kirkpatrick.
Listo. Uy.
And strike 2. Missed downstairs. For that, you umpire aficionados in the crowd, that is indeed John Hand from Illinois behind the plate. John Hand, for my money, one of the very best umpires on the ISC circuit in the world, as a matter of fact. Migliavacca strikes out Avery out of the inning. We're going to go to the 7th, tied. Did you expect anything less? Wow. Let's see how this one turns out. It's the 7th inning. Do you think it's going to be the last one? What are the odds? Pettit pours in a strike. Matroni back to the dish after Nico Carrillo caught on that delayed steal, and Nico Megan tossed out of the game after that, as it was Patrick Burns who came out to right field in the bottom of the 6th. This one's lifted up. Mullins backpedaling for it, settles under it, and makes the grab. Malarzouk was right there.
Yes, the best game.
Got to bring up Steve Mullally, aboard on a walk earlier. In tight to Mullally, ball 1. I'm sure New Zealand pitchers saw enough of Malali in 2015. Well, this one right down Iowa Street for strike one. And downstairs, 2-1. Pettit really hasn't worked ahead of too many batters tonight as he's come in. See Remeke there in to talk to his countryman. So Malali back into the box. And this one is lifted up down the first base side. Ochoa is going to go look over by the dugout, but that's going to be out the roof of the dugout. And we'll go to a 2-2 count on the leadoff batter for the Chiefs this inning. Closing in on 10 o'clock here in Eldridge, Iowa. 10 p.m. Central Time, 11 if you're in the East. And looked like he went after that. Are they going to check? Had a notion at the very least. So now time called. The ball was loose on the field in the on-decks area. Sure, I guess that just rolled in from somewhere. Upstairs, ball 4, Malali. Some patience at the plate and works another walk. Ellsworth down. I'm sure we're going to get a pinch runner here. Isak Lefebvre or Avery Arsenal likely to be coming on for Malali in a pinch run spot. Well, maybe not. I don't see anybody coming on. They pinch ran for Malali the other night. They've got these two speed burners on the bench. Not sure why you'd leave them there. Maybe figuring Jason Hill would give Malali an easy ride around the bases. Hill, that laser beam home run back in the early innings. Pop up in a fielder's choice since. Swing and a miss there over the top. A good drop ball from Pettit. Remeke in almost every pitch. Encouragement to Pettit. And 0-2, so Jason Hill falls quickly behind. And one of the few times we've seen Pettit work ahead since he came in. Gets away, and Mullally will get up to second base. That one handcuffed to Avery. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. And this one is lifted way up in the air. Zook will take this one and reel it in. That was a major league fly ball from Jason Hill. A lot of people had time to converge and camp under that one as it had ice on it when it came down. So you see Steve Mullally out at second, 2 out. And I'm still a little puzzled. You got those 2 speed burners on the bench who could probably score easily on a hit in front of an infielder, as we're going to get an intentional walk to Colin Walsh. Interesting strategy going for the force. Walsh has walked his last 2 times up. And looking to set up a force here with Tony Gonzalez coming to the plate. But Gonzalez, a couple of singles and a ground out. All right, well, it's going to be Tony Gonzalez and Josh Pettit, mano a mano. Everybody's getting excited over there near our center field camera and forgetting that it's there and shaking the fence. Called strike. So 1 ball, 1 strike. And this one just misses downstairs. Little 1-hopper to Zook. The tip to first, and they're out of the inning. So it pays off. They get the ground ball from Gonzalez, and they get out of the inning. But we'll head to the home half here. Can the Gremlins walk it off, come back, and find out?
señor, aquí regresamos. La cosa se pone interesantísima.
Nick Mullins, the man of the hour for the New York Gremlins.
Ese bateador,
Swing and a miss. You know, he had just one thing in his mind right there. Home run, his last at bat. It'll be Mullins, Waugh, and Remeke for the Gremlins here in the seventh. Well, Matroni, when you set up in the other batter's box and the pitch is right to your glove, you can't expect to strike. In tight. Jammed Mullins on that one. So Migliavacca works that Gorilla Gold rag, gets the grip, and downstairs, swing and a miss by Mullins. Chase that drop ball right down into the dirt. I think Nick Mullins just trying to do too much there with that at bat. So back to the top of the shop, Matthew Waugh. Bit of a quiet night for Matthew. Had a walk, pop up, and a caught looking. Usually expect Matthew on base a little bit more often than that. Called a strike. Matthew says that looked high. Both Migliavacca and Pettit have done pretty good jobs since coming on in relief. Kirkpatrick, a very un-Kirkpatrick-like start. Barely missed a bat. McCullough all over the place at first. Never really found a rhythm. Thought he was getting into it, but never really found a rhythm. Dropped out there in left. Waugh all the way around to third. The Chiefs get the break, and that is called to be in foul territory when it was dropped. Greg Leather, the coach of the Gremlins, is beside himself. There's no going to New York. There's no replay. Matthew Waugh just got to go back to the box. No idea on whether it was or not. We are 258 and a half feet from where that play was made. I'll trust John Hand. And Waugh foul that one back. See Jerome Remeke there in the on-deck spot. He'll follow Matthew Waugh to the plate. Benny Anoka, if it gets that far. Waugh's going to step out. Downstairs from Migliavaca. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 down here in the inning. The bottom of the 7th. Had 1 extra innings affair today. Not asking for 2. Just saying we've had 1. And that one misses downstairs as well. So a 3-2 count now on Matthew Waugh. And chopped on the infield, picked up nicely by Gonzalez. And a sharp turn of the play there by Tony Gonzalez on defense to get the speedy Matthew Waugh. Remeke, one of the few Gremlins who's yet to make base tonight. 4-6-3 double play in the first, strikeout and a groundout in his row tonight. And called a strike. And this one will hit deep center field. Bradley Ezekiel at the fence and makes the catch. Bradley Ezekiel saves the game. Unbelievable play. Wow. Just wow. Bradley Ezekiel all the way to the fence, leaps, knows that the fence is going to give way, makes the catch as he goes through the fence. Unbelievable. Well, the best player in the game just saved the game for the Hill United Chiefs. Bradley Ezekiel, just an unbelievable play here to steal a walk-off home run from Jerome Remeke. Remeke thought he had it all the way, walked out of the box, and only a miracle play by Bradley Ezekiel sends this game into the 8th.
Señores,
so Brett Larson was the batter there for Jeff Lyons in that spot and worked a walk. He stays in the game to run. Back to the top of the shop for Shane Boland. 0-1. And a ground ball. They go to second for one. They get the leader. But Boland beats it out. So Brett Larson quickly erased on the fielder's choice. Pat Burns will get his first plate appearance. A strike from Pettit. And misses inside. Two balls, two strikes. And the Gremlins definitely wanted that call. Swing and a miss. Down goes Pat Burns for the second out of the inning. So how much karma is there in the air? Zenon Winters says none. Bradley Ezekiel, who just made that game-saving catch, now comes to the plate. Popped up on the infield. It's a mile high. Right in behind the plate. Avery makes the catch. The Gremlins dodge a bullet in the top of the 8th. We ask the question again. Can they walk it off in the bottom? Let's see what happens. All right, the bottom of the 8th now.
Aquí regresamos, señores, cerrando el octavo.
Beninoka,
Enoca,
Eric Ochoa,
el bateador en
Wayne Laulu.
Clifton.
What can these guys do? Downstairs from Pablo Migliavaca to open the inning.
Lo que está batiendo ahora es una vez.
Well,
Swing and
swing
miss.
and a miss, and that real good drop ball. Migliavaca has had that one working all night long.
Mientras fue pelado. Enoca,
Anoka singled way back in the first inning.
Ochoa y Laulú esperando el Jets.
Swing and a miss again.
Y la vaca.
And if it's working, don't change it. Right back to the drop. Migliavaca is doing a good job of keeping the ball down in the zone, changing speeds. And misses outside and stumbles off the mound. The crowd just quieted down, buzzing after that Bradley Ezekiel miracle catch. Long time in between pitches here as Migliavaca gathers himself back up. And Anoka reaches out for that one, but Gonzalez will settle under that for the first out of the inning. Anoka just tried to punch that one out to right, but got the bottom of it. Ochoa hit the ball hard all night long. 2 for 3. And he can end it with one swing. That's a good pitch from Migliavaca, down and away. Nothing anybody can do with that pitch. Ochoa not chasing it, but nobody is going to hurt you with that pitch. And a chopper right into the glove of Jeff Lyons. Smothered that like nobody's business. Just kind of fell on it. Wayne Laulu will come in. There's the drop again from Migliavaca. Brought that one up in the zone for a strike. Good pitch on the outside corner from Pablo Migliavaca. One ball, one strike. Laulu. No batting gloves. Didn't get that call. So 2 balls, 1 strike. Laulu looks skyward. Migliavacca get the Gorilla Gold grip. And off the ankle of Wayne Laulu. This one well hit, deep left field, way back and gone! Wayne Laulu walks it off. Laulu rounds third. The Gremlins pour out of the dugout and take the game 6-5. Wayne Laulu, a no-doubter to left field on a line all the time. Wow, what a ball game here between these 2 clubs. I hope we get to see this one more time. What an outstanding ball game. The New York Gremlins prevailing 6-5 in 8 innings in an absolute thriller here on a Wednesday night in Eldridge, Iowa. Our pleasure to bring it to you. Don't go away. We've got one more to come here tonight. Come on back with us. Coming up, Kitchener-Hallman Twins and Fargo-Kegel Black Knights. It's going to be hard to top this one, but I'm sure they're going to give it a try. For Luciano, it's Blair. Stay with us. Buenas noches.